Hello and welcome to episode 32 of Kajabi in 5 minutes. Today I'm going to be talking again about menus. And I did an episode about this a couple weeks ago, but I wanted to revisit it because the menu area in Kajabi is limited. I'm talking about the header, and the footer. There's really not much you can do there compared to some other website editors. And it becomes especially noticeable if you just don't like the natural font that's going up there. If you want something different, then you just have to go out of the box. And so I'm going to be talking about some out of the box things that you can do, specifically little bits of code that you can use to just to adjust your menu font, really, is what this is about. And there's code for all sorts of things up there in the header and footer, but I try not to go into those areas. Anyways, it's going to be basic and it's going to be simple. And if you want, obviously, maybe to see what this looks like or how to do it, pardon me, go ahead to my YouTube channel, Kajabi in 5 minutes on YouTube, and go to the playlist, your first 30 days in Kajabi. I've got a video for every day, and somewhere around 17, 18, 19-ish, I've got a video that is about how to put this code in so you can kind of see what we're talking about here. But hearing is still useful because it's nice to know that this is possible. And I'm not going to go into like the nitty gritty at this. That would just be weird on a podcast, but I'm going to talk about how to do it. And if you feel like that's something you're interested, head over to YouTube to see it. And it is actually quite easy. So anyways, enough of that. In Kajabi, you go over to websites and navigation, and that's where all of your menus are. Basically, a menu in Kajabi is just a list of links that you set up here in the navigation area. And then you go into Kajabi on a page or in a product, anywhere, and you can call upon that list of links that you set up and put it into on the page as a menu. Now, the default text is really not changeable in that area. But if you come back, or like on the page editor, but if you come back into the navigation space where you're writing the title of your text, you can actually put in a little bit of code. And so when I say a little bit of code, I mean like before your text, something like the less than key, and then like where the period or where the comma is on your keyboard, and then a B, for example, for bold, or an H1 to use your really big heading font, or an 5 to use heading font number 5, and then the and then the greater than sign. Maybe I got those backwards. It's that way. The comma button, and then your H5, and then the period button to end that. That goes before your title. And then at the end of your title, you put the same thing, except you put a slash in front of the H5. So that would be the question mark button. And that's it. And what that does is it uses that new heading setting for those words in between that set of pointy brackets, which can be really useful because perhaps you've got a heading font set up that you would rather use in your header bar, pardon me. You can also, instead of using like an H5, you could put a B for bold. And then at the end, /B. And they just have to be in those pointy brackets before the words and after the words. The one after the words has a slash. The one before the words doesn't. And you can use lots of really simple bits of code like B for bold, U for underline, and then any of those H's for headings and things like that. And then if you actually want even more, like hover colors or things like that, hover underlines, background changes, you can go into your website pages, settings, custom code, and you can just copy a few little bits of code there. And you can see that code on in the YouTube video if you want. I also have a course about code in Kajabi on my website, thecoachsupport.com/code. and you can see what it is there as well. So it is worth exploring if you want just a little bit more customization in your menu. So take it for what it's worth.